In Lesson 72, Paul explained the operation of micropython dictionaries. We learned that dictionaries are a compact way to keep track of a set of related facts. Paul used color names and RGB values as an example, creating a table of keys and values, for example, red being 25500, green 02550, etc. Our Lesson 72 assignment was to use a color name value dictionary to drive an RGB LED to the appropriate color when the user enters the color name. The code must also deal with the user entering a color name that isn't in the dictionary. Our assignment in Lesson 73 was to move the dictionary and the RGB heavy lifting into a class library while maintaining the functionality of the Lesson 72 program. Let's start with a look at the class library. Here we define a class named BK's RGB LED. The _init method runs whenever the user creates a new RGB object by calling BK's RGB LED and passing the red, green, and blue GPIO pin numbers. The _init method starts by importing PWM so that this class does not depend at all on imports in the main program. Then for each element of the RGB LED, we call the PWM method for the appropriate GPIO pin and set the PWM frequency to 1000 Hz. Recall as you read this that the self parameter will be replaced by the particular name of the object being created. So this class will behave as if it is unique to each object. Here we declare the color table, which links each color name to a tuple of color values. Once the object is defined, the user may call the on, off, or blink methods. The on method requires RG and B duty cycles to determine the color of the LED. The off method does not take any parameters. It sets the duty cycle of all three RGB elements to 0. In addition to the RG and B duty cycles, the blink method requires a blinks and a pause parameter which controls the number and the pacing of the blinks. Here's the main program. We start by importing the BK's RGB LED class from BK's classes in the lib folder. We also import time because we're going to sleep. Next, we declare the GPIO pins for the RGB LED. In line 12, we create the RGB1 object. In a try clause, we ask the user which color they wish to display in an endless while true loop. We convert their response to uppercase and test that it is in the color table dictionary using the getKey method. If getKey returns true, then RGB1 color table of key holds the tuple value for the requested color. The tuple structure is red value, green value, blue value. A second level of indexing lets us access those values individually. For example, RGB1 color table of key 0 holds the red value. These values are between 0 and 255, so we have to scale them to a duty cycle range of 0 to 65535 as we pass them to the RGB1 on method in line 19. If getKey returns false, we print a message to the user and ask again. If the user presses Ctrl+C, we fall out of the try clause and enter the accept clause, where we turn the LED off and message the user that the program has finished. And here's how it looks. Well, that's it for this assignment. Any and all comments are welcome. Don't forget to like or dislike the video before you go. And feel free to subscribe. Don't forget the notification bell. We'll talk to you next time.